Okay, then we have a template or a category for prepare for future meetings after the first meeting. And we actually have a whole separate template for that. Because what we realized is you don't know how many future meetings you're going to have. So you may have 3 meetings in that case, or you may have 14. So with this template, you can pull in that future meeting template every time. So this is a category that has very little in it because we've created that separate template, which I'll take you through in a minute. And then prepare for your signing meeting. So your signing meeting, I think one of the challenges of collaborative law is there's no real deadline. And in trial, we have a real deadline. We have a trial date. And in collaborative, we don't. So sometimes we have to create one to motivate the less motivated person to get this over with. So when we're getting close to the end, we might schedule a signing meeting. You can always move it if you're not done yet, but it makes the clients feel better to understand the roadmap and understand there is going to be an end to this. And the signing meeting is also very helpful because once the decree is drafted and we've published it to the team, we've published it to the clients, there will be small changes, issues that hadn't been discussed, that we had to put a little note in the decree, not sure how you want to handle this, that we can make those small decisions and changes live. So we can come to the signing meeting, make those live, and then print and sign. We have in the past tried to do a lot of that by email. So you start sending emails out, hey, nobody talked about spring break, how do y'all want to handle that? It just got left out. And the emailing becomes so involved and there's so many misunderstandings sometimes that it takes up a lot of time and isn't very fruitful. So our experience is it's better to just hold those questions, just make a note of them, and then at the signing meeting they can answer them quickly. You can make changes live, print. You could also have your ancillary documents there. So this says print the decree, red line and clean. So the red line is where we've made those notes and indications to the clients that there's unresolved issues. We would prepare an agenda. So your signing meeting might say go through decree and resolve open issues. Sign decree, sign ancillary documents, have notary available to sign over power of attorney on the cars, things like that. Then confirm notary. So if you're going to need a notary, because you are going to have a power of attorney on the car or some other document that requires notarization, then this is just a reminder in the template to make sure you're going to have a notary there. Some teams like to give gifts to the clients at the end. Not all teams and not all cases would it be appropriate, but if you wanted to do that, there's a place in the template for that. And in the past, examples have been a gift card for a massage or a gift card for a dinner out or something like that. And then you'll want to confirm which documents require signatures, because not all do, of course, but some do. And we listed all the documents that are common so that you have them all there. Then print them all, have them ready. Make electronic copies of all the documents. So you could, after we've signed, scan them all and either just publish them by email to everyone, or you could put them on a thumb drive and hand them to everyone right there. And then we have a note to publish everything that's going to be assigned in advance. So nobody ever wants to be surprised, right? So if you publish everything, this is what I think we're signing. Then everybody could be prepared, have all their questions discussed with their lawyer before that. Okay, so let's go to the template about future meetings that I told you about. So that was our collaborative case template, but when you go to the master template list, you will also see collaborative meetings after first meeting. Now this is for every single meeting after the first meeting, because you're going to have steps to take between the meetings, and you want to have a checklist to help you through those. So one is, whoever took the minutes is going to have to draft the minutes. So if you had a minute taker, or if you're the minute taker, you'll want to make sure you get the minutes drafted. Send the minutes to the team first, again, before the client, so the team can say if they had any comments about the minutes. One thing that I do is I like to tape record the meeting for purposes of minute taking. So we get permission of the clients to tape record the meeting so we can have very accurate minutes. And then we tell them that once the minutes have been approved by the clients, we delete the tapes. I've had great success with that because you don't ever get into a dispute. You just listen to the tape again. So if somebody on the team or the client say, I don't think that's what we agreed to, or I don't think that's what we said, we just say, here's the tape, listen to the tape. So it resolves that memory issue. So if the team has changes to the minutes, maybe a word choice, or we need to say more about this, we don't transcribe it from the tape word for word, but it helps us to have the tape to give an accurate summary. Then we'll make any changes to the minutes. Then we send the minutes to the clients. We may need to schedule additional team meetings. Sometimes that's done in the first team meeting, as we'll schedule one or more additional team meetings, but if we've run out of them and we need to schedule more, then that would be something to do. And then we'll need to schedule a team call. So between every team meeting, between each team meetings, we need to have a team call. And that's not going to be as long as the first one. So the first one's 45 minutes to an hour. This may just be 30 minutes. But it allows the team to prepare for that meeting and to talk about, life is going on with these people in the meantime. So they're calling us, they're calling someone on the team and saying, oh my gosh, guess what happened? So it allows us to share that information and to be prepared for what needs to be on the agenda and have that agenda prepared. And then schedule client calls. I like to have a call right before the team meeting and right after. Sometimes the same day, like literally 3 o'clock I'm talking to the client, 3:30 I have the team meeting, then I have another client call at 4:30. And the reason for that is, if there is drama going on, if I talk to the client a week ahead, that's a whole nother week of drama. So I like it to be close in time, so I have the latest drama to tell the team, and then I like to talk to the client after the team call to report. And that may or may not be necessary. If there's nothing to report and the agenda is what I expected, then I'll just tell the client I won't call you, I'll just email you and say no need for a call. But if there is something to report about, okay, this is what they're concerned about and this is what's going to be on the agenda, then I like to have that call scheduled. And we're going to usually use a conference calling number for the team call, and it's really handy to have someone, you or someone in your office, send a reminder to the team of that call right before the call, the day before or right before, with the conference calling number, so they're not having to dig it out of wherever they had it. And then we'll draft the agenda for the next meeting based on the call, finalize agenda, publish the agenda like before, and then it's nice to have a reminder to the clients of their homework. So in the first meeting, they're going to get homework. And the homework may be gather all your financial documents and give them to the neutral financial planner. Things of that nature. And I know this will shock you, but they're not always good about doing their homework. So it's nice to have a reminder of, hey, the meeting's coming up, don't forget to do your homework. And we have homework too. So maybe someone on the team needs a reminder. But in any case, it never hurts to get a reminder. And then you want to make sure that the minutes have gone out, so confirm with your minute taker that the minutes went out. And the goal is that they go out fast, so everybody has a fresh memory, and so that if there is homework, which will be listed in the minutes, they're aware of it. So first it goes out to the team, and they approve them. It might get stuck there, though. So you might get them out, you send them to the team, but the team isn't replying, so it's hard to get them to the clients. So there might need to be a little follow-up there. And then you're going to have packets again to prepare for the next meeting, so that's repeated. And then one thing that's on here for your new meeting is create a WIP or a bill. A WIP meaning a work in progress bill. So it might not be your billing time of the month, but it's good to run a WIP so that you know where you are financially with the client, because a common item on the agenda is professional fees. And this is for two reasons. One, we want to stay current and get paid, of course. But two, the clients don't want to be surprised. They don't want to get a bill, months and months later that is huge, and they didn't know they were incurring that. So it helps to keep the clients aware of what's happening in their case and how their retainers are going. Then again, you're going to have book the conference room, confirm the conference room, get the snacks, and then you're going to have calendar the status report due dates. So remember that previously we did the notice to the court and we had status report due dates. Well, we don't want to miss those due dates. It's going to be 6 months from now, so it might be easy to forget. So you want to put those on your calendar so you don't forget. And then right before the meeting, I like to remind the client, or have someone in my office remind the client to review the minutes, because they are going to be asked to approve them. And I can't tell you how many times we're in a meeting and we say, do you approve the minutes? And they go, oh. And that we have them there in front of them. That's part of our packet. I'll talk about the packet in a second. But they haven't read them, or they can't remember. So we'll save their money and time if we remind them, you're going to be asked to approve these in the next meeting. So go ahead and read them and be ready to say yes or no, and if no, what your issue is. So in our packets, your agenda will be on the top of the packet, and then everything the agenda refers to will be in the packet. And what I mean by that is, we often look back at the client's goals. So we set goals in the first meeting, so the goals will be in the minutes of the first meeting. We just lift those goals out of the minutes and do a standalone page of goals. So those will be in every packet. And then you'll do it in the order that the agenda lays it out. There will often be an item on the agenda that says, review the roadmap to resolution. So the roadmap to resolution talks about all the steps in a collaborative case, and typically the neutral financial professional will guide us in that step of the agenda and tell them, okay, we're on number 3, and this is what's happening. Or we're in option development, that's number 5. So they can see that their case is progressing. So you'll have the roadmap in your packet, and then it will have the minutes from the last meeting, because if they forgot to approve them, at least they could review them real quick on a break or something and approve them. So just look at your agenda, and that'll cue you on what you'd want to have in your packet. And that is your template for preparing for your collaborative case.